Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Everything About Personality. Today's video is about the great personality of the history, the greatest leader and philosophist of South Africa, the Nelson Mandela. So without wasting any time, let's get straight to it.
Mandela was born to the Thembu royal family in British South Africa. He was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary political leader and philosophist who served as President of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of tackling institutionalized racism and fostering racial recognition. Ideologically an African nationalist and socialist, he served as president of the African National Congress (ANC) party from 1991 to 1997. Mandela was widely considered a charismatic leader, described by biographer Mary Benson as a born mass leader who could not help magnetizing people. He was highly image conscious and thoughtful. His life always sought out fine quality clothes, with many commentators believing that he carried himself in a regal manner. His ascetic heritage was repeatedly emphasized by supporters, thus contributing to his charismatic powers. While living in the 1950s, he cultivated the image of the African gentleman, having the clean clothes, correct manners, and modulated public speech. Associated with such a position, in doing so, argued that Mandela became one of the first media politicians, embodying a glamour and a style that projected visually a brave new African world of modernity and freedom. Mandela was known to change his clothes several times a day, and he became so associated with highly colored batik shirts after assuming the presidency that they came to be known as Madiba shirts. For political scientists Betty Glad and Robert Balton, Mandela was an exceptionally intelligent and loyal leader. His official biographer, Anthony Sampson, commented that he was a master of imaginary and performance, excelling at presenting himself well in press photographs and producing sound bites.
His public speeches was presented in a form of stiff manner and often consisted of clip-set phrases. He typically spoke slowly and carefully chose his words. Although he was not considered a great orator, his speeches conveyed his personal commitment, charm, and humor. Mandela was a private person who often concealed his emotions, and in a very few people. Privately, he lived in an austere life, refusing to drink alcohol or smoke, even as a president that makes his own bed. Renowned for his mischievous sense of humor, he was known for being both stubborn and royal. At times exhibited a quick temper, he was typically friendly and welcoming and apparently relaxed in conversation with everyone, including his opponents. A self-described Analophile, he claimed to have lived by the trappings of British style and manners, consistently polite and courteous. He was alternative to all, irrespective of their age or status, who often talked to children and servants.
He was known for his ability to find common ground with very different communities. In later life, he always looked for the best in people, even defending political opponents to his allies, who sometimes thought him too trusting of others. He was fond of Indian cuisine and had a lifelong interest in archaeology and boxing. He studied law at the University of Frontier and University of Witwatersrand before working as a lawyer in Johannesburg. There he became involved in anti-colonial and African nationalist politics, joining the ANC in 1943 and co-founding its Youth League in 1944. After the National Party's white-only government established a system of racial segregation that privileged whites, he and the ANC committed themselves to its overthrow. Mandela was appointed president of the ANC's Transvaal branch, rising to prominence for his involvement in the 1952 defense campaign and the 1995 Congress of the People campaign. He was repeatedly arrested for the sedition activities and was unsuccessfully prosecuted in the 1956 treason trial. Influenced by Marxism, he secretly joined the banned South African Communist Party. Although initially committed to non-violent protest in association with the SACP, he co-founded the militant Armico with Suzy in 1961 and led a sabotage campaign against the government. He was arrested and imprisoned in the 1962 and subsequently sentenced to life imprisonment for conspiring to overthrow the state following the Rivoria trial. Mandela served 27 years in prison, split between Robben Islands, Portsmouth Prison, and Victor Western Prison, amid growing domestic and international pressure and with fears of the racial civil war. President F.W.D. Klerk released him in 1990. Mandela and de Klerk led efforts to negotiate an end to apartheid, which resulted in the 1994 multiracial general election in which Mandela led the ANC to victory and became president, leading a board coordination government which promulgated a new constitution. Mandela emphasized recognition between the country's racial groups and created the Truth and the Recognition Commission to investigate past human rights abuses. Economically, Mandela's administration retained his predecessor's liberal framework despite his own socialist beliefs, also introducing measures to encourage land reform, combat poverty, and expand healthcare services. Internationally, he acted as a mediator in the Palm Arm Flight 103 bombing trial and served as a Secretary General of the Non-Aligned Movement from 1998 to 1999. He declared a second presidential term and in 1999 was succeeded by his deputy. Mandela became an elder statesman and focused on combating poverty and HIV/AIDS through the charitable Nelson Mandela Foundation. Mandela was a controversial figure for much of his life, widely regarded as an icon of democracy and social justice. He received more than 250 honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize, and became the subject of a cult of personality. He is held in deep respect within South Africa, where he is often referred to by his American clan name Maliba and described as the father of the nation. Mandela was married 3 times, fathered 6 children, and had 17 grandchildren and at least 17 great-grandchildren. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you like this video. Please like, comment and share this video in your friends, family and other relatives so that everyone can get to know about the great Nelson Mandela, and please do subscribe my channel and click the bell icon for more interesting videos on the great personalities of our world. For more updates, follow me on my Instagram account @atharva_241.